So originally I wanted to do a Dollar Tree video. The type where like you go buy several things from the Dollar Tree, and but what I really wanted to focus on that was buying like food items and seeing what I could make throughout the week with items from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if I would have been able to last like a full 7 days, let alone 5 days. At the most, I was thinking 2, 3 days, but with a turn of recent events and me needing to vent, I kind of changed my mind this week and I want to focus on a different video. Um, because the situation is still ongoing, I don't want to get into specifics. However, I'm having quite a night and I'm not in like the best of moods, and I guess a part of me just wants to vent. So recently, a couple months back, I decided to move out because I really needed my own space, and it's really hard when you haven't had any privacy like growing up. And for about 3 years I didn't have a bed. Up until like the last year, I upgraded from like sleeping on the floor with like those little like big black trash bags, a couple of blankets on the floor. Mind you, the floor was cement, to sleeping on a cot. One of those like army military cots. I think my mom had gotten them at Big Five. And yeah, it was an upgrade, but after a while, like it does start to hurt your back because there's no support. So when you lay on it, your body kind of just goes like, this is your body, and then once you lay on the cot, it just goes tss. And yeah, there was a good while where like my lower back would just hurt. Not the most comfortable thing. So like for the longest time I've been wanting to get my own place, and I've been looking and looking. And at this point I was very determined to try to find somewhere to live because I wasn't too happy with like everything going on in my life, and I realized I needed some space. However, I was working a part-time job, not really full-time, and the pay wasn't great. So the possibility of me trying to find my own place, like a 1 bedroom, it was very hard because it was way too out of my price range. And even in the city that I live in, there are very few studios available, but the studios here are so expensive for being a studio, like over or about $1,000 a month, and that's not including utilities. So like that's too much for my pockets, to be honest. And I would be running out of funds that fast if I decided to do that. So my only option left was to kind of like search online, use different kinds of apps to try to find a place and possibly get roommates. Mind you, I was just about done with college, about to graduate, and because of my major, I graduated as a social worker. It's very hard to get a job. Like with your bachelor's, I've come to realize that it's not enough and you need to go for a master's. But yeah, so I'm in the process of trying to figure out how I can go about to getting the job that I really want, or if I should go back to graduate school. So long story short, I ended up finding a place on Hotpads, and I knew that I would have roommates. However, the description wasn't very descriptive, so I have 2 roommates. I don't know them, but I decided to, you know, see what it was like. I signed a year contract, and well, a couple months later, here we are. So far, it's been, it could be better, and it also could be worse. And honestly, I don't think I'm one to ask for much. And my roommates are older than me. They're a guy and a girl. They're a couple. Let me think of a name for them. Jim and Jenny. Hopefully I remember this. One of the situations that we are having is a heater situation. To be honest, I'm not one for a heater, especially if we don't have carbon monoxide detectors. I don't feel comfortable having something running like that all night and just like leaving the house, no one's at home all day, coming back to like the heater running. Like, yes, I understand at some point it turns off. However, you need to let your appliances breathe. You need to give them a break because it's just a waste of electricity at the end of the day. And the guy doesn't seem to understand the concept of being mindful and courteous. And oh my gosh, I have long days. I work a full 8-hour shifts. I wake up early. I'm on the phone all day. I'm on the computer. I'm talking to people. And on top of that, I have a second job. And part of me is debating on what exactly I want to do for my master's. If I want to go and focus on the political law aspect of it, or if I want to focus on the medical aspect of it. However, I'm kind of gearing more towards the law aspect of it, so I do need to study before I get into my master's, and I would like to come home, relax in my own room, and just do my thing, you know? But, oh, guys, like, this is some unnecessary stress, and my head hurts. And your home, your room, even if it's just a room, should be something that you come home to relax, de-stress, be like peaceful with yourself, and just like mentally get ready for the next day, you know? And that's not what I'm experiencing. So yeah, it's just my little vent. I don't want to get into too much specifics because I'm still here and I honestly can't afford to go somewhere else. I really can't afford to go somewhere else. And I do know that like what my one goal is that I'm not ready, nor do I want to move back home with my parents, even though like the doors are open and whatnot. I want to be able to do things on my own. And yeah, that's about it.